Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you something you've probably never heard of, because even though there are plenty of cameras here, the mainstream media are not reporting on it. This is Italy. This is Rome. This is in Rome, just outside the Parliament building. That behind just there, you can see that is a part of the Parliament building. Now, all of these people out here who have come to make a principled stand are small business owners, conservative business owners, decent people. This is not one of the usual suspect protests where police cars get overturned and businesses get looted. On the contrary, these are the businesses. They are the business owners. So we've got a clip to watch. One clip of a lot of business owners who have had enough with Rona lockdowns after lockdown after lockdown. How stupid is it, right? In my opinion, and many others by the looks, if one lockdown doesn't work, you then try a second one, and then a third one, and so on and so on. If they don't work, stop doing them. That's just my own personal opinion, and a lot of people who live in the real world think that life has to go on. You know, these people who work in the public sector, who are largely left-wing, because we know the left congregate in the public sector where they can fail upwards, and conservatives in every society congregate in the private sector, the wealth-generating private sector. We live in the real world, and we know that life has to go on. Life has risk. Life contains risk, okay? And people who have businesses are finally making a principled stand. How many times do you hear conservatives say, oh, well, I can't make a principled stand. I've got a job. Oh, I'll get cancelled. Oh, these guys have got jobs. These guys have got could get cancelled. More, they own their own family business, but they're making a principled stand. So let's get into this clip, find out what's going on. But if you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this video around. That'll help me stay competitive with the mainstream media, who get promoted on the platform that independent content creators like us made. And I'd love to have you as a part of this small but hopefully growing community. Okay, let's go.
Ecco quello che fate! Ecco quello che siete! Ecco! Cosa fanno? Guardali!
Okay, so you can see it's quite a chaotic scene. Now let's go back, watch again. There's some points I want to make out and some comparisons I want to make with what we've been seeing in Britain and mainly the United States. With these are conservative people here, so I want to compare what we see in here with what we saw in the left-wing kind of Antifa BLM demonstrations. So let's watch again. So the first thing I want to point out, sorry for the lower quality of this clip, can't be helped, I didn't take the footage, but it's the best on the ground footage I could give you. These guys are not all dressed in black, they're not wearing ski masks on their face or balaclavas, they haven't turned up with pepper spray, tasers, hardened gloves, rocks, things like that. You can see that they're ordinary people. They're wearing masks, COVID masks, to comply with COVID rules. If they didn't have to wear them, they wouldn't be wearing them, okay? They would be happy to show their face because their cause is just. That's a big difference between what we see with these guys and what we see with the likes of Tifa in Britain and especially the United States. They hide their face. They wouldn't want, these are these skinny latte soy boy types. They wouldn't want rich mummy and daddy to find out that they're out there supporting socialist causes. These guys are completely different. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. They know their cause is just. That building they're at is the Parliament in Rome. They're outside the Parliament building in Rome. Let's continue. There's some other points I want to make. Second point is all of those cameras up there. All of these cameras up here. This is the mainstream media. But you didn't know about this, did you? Do you know why? Because they get their footage, they take it back, and it cannot be fed through the narrative that they want to give. So it gets tossed in the bin. They can't air every story they get. This is the thing that a lot of people don't realise about the news. Why do you think these companies have like 1,000 employees, right? They can't cover everything they get. They only show you what they want you to think is newsworthy. They only show you what they want you to think. As Mika, I think it's Mika Berinsky, the MSNBC woman, she said, and I'm quoting her here, she was talking about Donald Trump or the mainstream media, one of the two, independent media. And she was saying it's not their job to control what people think. That's our job, as in hers and her news corporation buddies. She said it herself. It's her job to control what you think. That's the way they see you, right? But they're up there, the cameras are up there, but you've never heard about this because it's not their narrative. They can't give you their narrative through this. They don't want you thinking or knowing that small business owners had a legitimately peaceful protest. I know there was scuffling. I'm going to get onto that in a moment. And that they were largely conservative business owners. They don't want you knowing that. So the aggression is coming from the police, right? That flashbang was thrown by them into the crowd, and you'll see that it continues in that vein. So the men have got their hands up. They're not throwing rocks at anyone or anything like that. And keep an eye on the first line of police officers, because the pushing, the cajoling, the jostling is coming from them. That guy's got an Italexit flag, which is they want to leave the European Union like us in Britain did, because the people in Europe are starting to realise that we were right in doing what we did. And I will never forget, I stayed up most of the night, but I eventually fell asleep, and then when I woke up in the morning and I checked, back then I still had a television. I don't do television now. I don't do any television. And I went and checked the propaganda box, and they were all commiserating because we had voted to leave the European Union, and I could never forget the feeling I had when I saw that, of elation. of conservatives sticking it to the fake conservatives. You guys have rhinos over there. We have sinos. Conservatives in name only. CINO. You guys have Republicans in name only. RINO. Well, ours are sinos. And David Cameron was the biggest sino you've ever seen. He was our Mitt Romney. Imagine if Mitt Romney had won an election in your country. That's what we got with David Cameron. So you can see, look, you've got the army of mainstream media press guys behind the police. You've got the police who are pushing and cajoling and jostling the people who were just stood outside their parliament. Tell me, in what democracy can the people not gather outside their own parliament? Ask yourself, are you really a democracy if you're not allowed to do that? Right? They're not turning over police cars. They're not looting the businesses. They are the businesses. They're small business owners. Look, watch again. Around here. And there you go. That guy there in the orange trying to rush in to free his friend, I should imagine. The reason why this is so momentous, and I wanted to share it with you, is you often hear conservatives saying that, oh, well, I can't do anything because I've got a job. Oh, I can't make a principled stand because they will get on social media and cancel me, and so on and so on. Well, these guys don't just have jobs, they have businesses. Family businesses. And things have gotten so bad for them, they have decided to take a principled stand. Together. That's momentous. That's brilliant. They're not out there to intimidate locals and say, get them to say her name. They're not out there asking loaded questions like, do Black Lives Matter? But they know they're not asking that really. They're asking you to capitulate. They might as well say, do you capitulate to our ideology? They're not doing that. They are stood outside their parliament. They want answers from the people they elected. And the people they elected turn the police on them. Like sick dogs. Like sick to the dogs. Horrible. Horrible. But that's it. That's the video. Let me know what you guys think of this situation. All those mainstream media cameras there, not a single one ran with the story when they found out who the people doing the protest actually were. You know, if one of the special class of people had died, for example, at the hands of the police, and this is what the protests were about, you would know about it, right? It would be all over Twitter, trending. It would be on every news station from here to Italy to Australia to the United States. But because it's small business owners who have had it up to here, we're having people who have never ran a business dictate terms to them whilst they still get a paycheck paid from the dwindling amount of tax revenues being made by the businesses who are struggling. They're pig-headed and they're not going to listen to the people who elected them. Anyway, if you haven't already yet, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share this video around. There are little icons down below just above the description box to share it across social media. It takes a few moments to do those things and it would really help this small channel get some traction in these times when independent commentary YouTubers are being sidelined by their own platform. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.